our first break of the evening. Good evening, Larry.
Good evening, gentlemen and Coach.
Hey.
How you all doing?
Good.
Good.
Eric,
Yes.
you guys had one heck of a game last night.
You know,
I enjoyed that game.
That was a good game.
we have been blessed with many of close contests and exciting games at Mannheim this year. I mean, it has just been one game after another that it seems to come down to a final shot.
Yeah. Like last week against McCaskey.
Yeah.
Same problem.
Yep.
I've
And
seen
last
Mannheim
night
Central
against
3
Conrad
times this
Weiser,
year, and 2
same
games have
problem.
gone to overtime. It's,
Overtime, yeah.
This was your first overtime this year, though, right? Broadcasting?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, I'll tell you, that crowd really got into it.
yeah, it
They
was a,
did. I mean, you know, Mannheim's ahead, then something happens, and then Conrad Weiser goes ahead. It's like all night long to the overtime game, and it looks like Mannheim Central's found a little extra gas to do a little more extra stuff, and Conrad Weiser will get on behind then.
yeah, I mean, I thought it was, at the start, I thought it was a little choppy on both sides. I thought both teams really struggled to find some rhythm, but boy, toward the end, when Walsh took over in the second half
Yes.
for Central, Matt Walsh, that was just a great effort to watch. And then the Orr kid from Conrad Weiser pretty much matched him down the stretch. It was just a good game. I thought they were two pretty even teams. Kind of a tough draw for both of them in the first round, but you know, Central got it done. I mean, it was a fun overtime to watch. I thought once it got to overtime, they were probably in pretty good shape, but you never know. It's a 4 minute session, and a lot of things can happen. And they just got hot when they needed to.
Is this Mannheim Central's first time to the Giant Center?
The way they reacted last night, I would say it was.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to get some history as far as if this is the furthest that they have ever advanced. Now, they did win a couple of play-in games, but I'm still trying to find out the history to find out for sure if this is indeed. They've already set a record for most wins in a season, so it's been a record-setting season. And now they've got a pretty good task in front of them Friday night against West York, who's the number 2 seed. But thing is, it's a gritty bunch. It is a gritty bunch.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to, is Central going to be able to slow down West York? I think they won 87-83 last night.
Right.
Who they played escapes me at the moment, but they're obviously capable of filling it up. I think Central can. Their physical height is going to be a tough matchup for a lot of teams, so I think that will give them a shot. But
I think Central plays very good team defense.
They do, absolutely.
Very good.
Well, you know they're going to have, Central probably has scours like West York did to, had take Mannheim out too. But if I know that coach from Mannheim, he's going to find the weak spots and the strong spots against West York and see if he can, adjust his defense and offense, to compensate that a little bit probably.
Yeah, and I see Warwick's going to host a couple of games next week.
Yes, we are. We are hosting a doubleheader next Monday night at Warwick, and it's all girls AA games, in which I already have all the rosters to be ready, because I got to be into the school Monday night exactly a little after 3 o'clock and start ripping the boards, getting the boards ready and get them set before anybody gets there. I already have everything done, period. I'm all set.
Well,
all I got to do is wait till Friday night, get the teams, and then start working over the weekend on the computer and get everything set up and ready to rock and roll.
You're the man.
We had a good turnout the other night at Warwick for the Mennonite games. That was a humdinger, I'll tell you. It went back and forth all night long, but that was a good game at Warwick, and we had a good crowd.
Good. That's what we always like to hear.
Everybody, Eric, you know the picture that I have of my mother?
Yeah.
It sits there, and everybody that comes by wants to know, who's this lady? And I always say, oh, that's my mother. Well, what do you mean? I said, well, she passed away, and that's where she sat since 1968. Or no, 1973, when I started getting involved with Warwick basketball more and more.
Right.
And I said, that's where she sat. She said, well, you saw her pretty much. I said, yep. I saw my mother real much, and she
Very good. Very
So
good.
everybody liked the picture, said it looks nice about her and all that stuff, so makes me feel happy that, she's being recognized. And also, in 2 weeks on Sunday, we have our annual Warwick basketball. Anyway, take care. We'll talk to you all next week.
Have fun.
Okay, later.
Good.
See you later.
See you later.
Have a good night.
All right, we're up against a break. When we come back. Back on Sports Talk. We'll get back to your phone calls in a couple of minutes, but right now we've got Chad Landers sitting in, pinch hitting for Brian Cast, and all you need to do is get a base hit and you win the job.
Yeah,
you don't even need to hit a home run.
That's fine. We'll take a sacrifice. It's a
guy.
sacrifice punt.
I've played baseball since I was 8, so it shouldn't be too hard.
perfect.
Yeah, coming off the bench for Brian, not feeling so great today. But Larry stole all of our thunder on the district basketball. We had Mannheim Central last night and an overtime thriller, as I always call it. Just such a great game. They were playing Conrad Weiser. They were the number 7 seed for Central versus the number 10 seed for Conrad Weiser. Matt Walsh is always the star there for Mannheim Central, just lighting it up from all over. You saw him throw it in there from the bench area, then just taking guys off the dribble. You know, he had 24 points in that game, led everybody, all the scores, and he is clearly their top leader, even though he's just a junior. For Conrad Weiser, they do have that 6'8" player, Andy Orr. You guys talked about him a little bit. He had 21 points in the game. You'll see him with a dunk a little bit later here in the highlights. So, you know, he was a pretty good athlete there, and he gave him fits. But they just had too much team talent there from Mannheim Central. They're quite a team. You guys talked about it. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the McCaskey game. You could tell who was the team and who had the better players. Funk there draining a three-pointer. He's a pretty good outside shooter. 14 points there for him. So, yeah, Mannheim Central looked pretty good in that game. Yeah, see right there. You know, when you're 6'8", it's not hard to get up.
No,
but
not so much.
No, but yeah, he's a great player, and if they hadn't gone up against Central, they probably would have won a first-round playoff game. But, you know, Central just a better team. Walsh just takes over there.
Well, and really, and I think you'll agree, Keith, the fact that Conrad Weiser did not have an answer defensively for Walsh.
No, they didn't.
Because Orr was on Funk. That left Walsh one-on-one, and he had his way.
Well, I think the problem for Conrad Weiser too was their Talford, whose first name escapes me.
Yeah.
He was very disruptive on defense, but got into foul trouble.
Yes.
In the first half, but then also like late in the fourth quarter, I think he picked up number 4, and it kind of eliminated what he could do, a lot of what he could do defensively, because he was playing pretty well early in the game, but then the fouls caught up to him. But yeah, I mean, it was a great matchup. I thought Orr and Funk kind of canceled one another out. They looked physically very similar, and their styles were pretty similar too, I thought. So, yeah, it was interesting.
Well, you were at the game, and you did with Mike Straub. He said, I think at one point, I think Funk kind of surprised him a little bit because they thought Funk would be kind of under the basket, and he can kind of come out and shoot that three, so it brought Andy Orr out, and then it was just kind of left everything open for those guys to start driving, and as you can tell, Walsh could just get there anytime he wanted to. But, you know, the Central moves on. They're going to play on Friday against West York, the number 2 seed, and, you know, West York put up 87 points last night, so I don't know if the Mannheim Central defense, you know, can shut them down. I don't know. Maybe you have any thoughts on that?
I think if they beat McCaskey. McCaskey's a very good athletic team. I don't know a whole lot about West York, but I can't imagine that they would have a lot more speed and athleticism than McCaskey did. And Central, you know, got McCaskey to play their game and beat him at it. So, yeah, I think they got a shot at it, certainly. It'll be interesting to see how they react to playing in Hershey, though, because Mannheim Central's gym is kind of cozy, whereas the Giant Center is cavernous. It'll just, I thought last year when Donegal played there for the first time, I thought that kind of had an effect on them. Just the eye line was shooting. So we'll see how they do. Yeah,
Central certainly plays better at home. It's just, you know, just such a great atmosphere in that gym. And like you said, it is small. I'm surprised they got all the McCaskey and Central fans in there in that playoff game. But,
barely.
Yeah, just barely, yeah.
Shoehorned them in.
May have broken some rules there.
One thing I want to know, how many points did Walsh get in overtime?
Walsh, he had a 3-pointer and a bucket, so at least 5, maybe around 8 points, somewhere in that.
I think so, because
5
Funk
to
hit
8.
the three-pointer
Yeah.
Yes.
in overtime too, which was big. Yeah, I think that's
I mean,
about
that
right.
kid is clutch.
No,
He
he's
was.
great.
He is clutch.
And I thought they were up. I think it was about 37-30 or something like that, late third, early fourth quarter, and then Conrad Weiser came back. And what struck us at the print press table was, at that point, Central stopped getting the ball to Walsh, and we were just sort of wondering
He may have been
what
on
was
the
going
bench.
on.
Yeah.
He was for a little bit of it, but there was like a 3-minute span there where he was in and hardly touched the ball. And we're like, why? I mean, he's
Because a lot of the rest of
he's
the game,
driving the train there,
they
getting the
ran
ball.
plays
Yeah.
and put the double picks to get him the ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have some great plays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their coach is
They
great. He's
really
a great
do.
coach.
He is.
Yeah, he's
And
doing a great job.
he coaches.
You know, it's funny. We
that
talked to him.
passion.
We talked to him. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday at practice, and he said, you know, last year he coached harder than he coached this year because he just has so much talent and so many athletes this year. They went on that 18-game winning streak, just impressive. One of the best years in the program history. I believe one of the players did say that when they get to the Giant Center, that would be the furthest they've ever gone. So, you know, unofficially, that is. Like I said, they'll play on Friday. LMH is still in the AAA bracket. They will play on Friday. They beat Steel High yesterday, 71-48.
Impressively, too, yeah.
That surprised me.
Yeah, me too.
Not so much that they won, but by the margin.
Yeah,
Blew them out.
Yeah, I'm from the Harrisburg area, so I'm used to seeing Steel High just blowing the doors off of people, and to get beat by LMH by that much was a surprise. But now LMH is going to have to play the number 1 seed in AAA,
so it's
McDevitt,
yeah,
and I saw
yeah,
them play
McDevitt,
only
yeah.
for about 5 minutes on TV against Harrisburg, and they looked like they had a ton of athletes. I was absolutely surprised. how
Really,
good-
McDevitt has a ton of
Yeah.
athletes.
Yeah,
Go
well,
figure.
let's not get into that.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I was really impressed with Mennonite when I saw him play